Okay, so as I've said, this objector that James is introducing into the text, it's hard to tell when he stops or starts speaking and when he stops speaking. Well, when he starts speaking, everyone's kind of in agreement on. James says, but someone may say, you have faith, I have works. In a lot of translations, the NIV is kind of the most prominent one, kind of ends the quotes right there. The objector saying, you have faith and I have works. The NASB, which is what I'm reading from, extends it a little bit further and has the objector saying, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without works and I'll show you my faith by my works. That's option number 2. It's a little bit longer. It goes all the way through verse 18. And then the only translation I've ever found is the Weymouth translation. And it takes it all the way through verse 19. Has the objector saying, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without the works, and I will show you my faith by my works. You believe that God is one. You do well. The demons also believe, and they shudder. That's a really long quote, but the Weymouth translation has the objector saying all of that from verse 18 all the way through the end of verse 19. Now, which one is the correct one? There's no way to know because there's no quotation marks in the original language. And again, I said it's amazing that when translators translate this way that they don't think about, when does the objector stop speaking? And it does really change what he's meaning based on where you end those quotes. Now, so how can we determine? I'll let the cat out of the bag. I think that the correct translation of it is the long one, the Weymouth translation. The objector says it all. You have faith, I have works. Show me your faith without works. I'll show you my faith by my works. You believe that God is one. You do well. The demons also believe and shudder. That's the whole objector's point. Now, why do I think that? Why do I think that that's where the quotation mark ends? Because we have different examples in the Bible where Paul uses the same literary device. In 1 Corinthians, when he says, well, with what kind of body do the dead come? Is an objector objecting to the resurrection. And Paul says, you foolish person. He rebukes them with an insult. When he says in Romans, so should we sin so that grace may abound? God forbid. No, there's a strong rebuke when the author comes back in to rebuke the objector. Well, when does James do that? This is a literary device that they're using. He does it in verse 20. The objector has this big long spiel, and then James comes in at the end of the objection and says, but are you willing to recognize, you foolish fellow, that faith without works is useless? So I'm going to go forward in these videos explaining these different ways of reading the objector and make the case for why I think that it's the longer one that the objector is saying.